Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CCRL Pro Tier Round 4 at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. It's going to be 4.309 kilometers, 2.677 miles, 15 corners, and 2 DRS zones here in Brazil. I am the Johnny Damon, and let's jump into the point standing for now. Let's see. After round 3, we got the Rocket Man up top with 113 points. Natural with 75. Swazi with 70. 53 for Comacopa. 48 for Daboonster. 45 for Bongit. 40 for Raptor KK in 7th. Mr. Miller in 8th with 34. 34 for Peak Hour in 9th. Trackside with 28 in 10th. That will be your top 10 for the points. And jumping into the constructors standings, we're going to have the Aston Martin team at top with 161 points. Mercedes with 115. 115 for Red Bull. Alpine with 75. 46 for Haas. 42 for the Racing Bulls. 34 for Kick Sauber. 28 for Ferrari, 24 for McLaren, and 16 for the Williams. As you can see, we have a very wet qualifying and it's going to be a very wet race as well. The rain is coming down here. Everybody is out on their out laps. We're going to see people do multiple laps on the same set of tire. They got a higher fuel load. Lepsky here. The disqualification, not exactly sure what's going on. I believe that is Lou. He was in a quali ban for readying up in the previous race. But heading down into turn 1 to begin his first lap of the evening, Comacopa makes his way into the Senna S's here. He turns off that battery through the Senna S's so he can maintain that grip and power back on the throttle. He's going to burn some more battery down the straight heading into turn 4. And then we're going to make our way through turn 5 up through Ferradura. And now making his run into turn 8. Down into 3rd gear. Gets back on the power, making his way through turn 9 here. And then into Baco de Pato, or no, it's Pico de Pato. Back down the hill through turn 11 and now into Yungkao of turn 12. Back on the power, up through the gears, heading his way down the straight. He did get a little loose there, and he's going to make his run towards turn 1, but the start finish line here up to the top with a 122.181. Not exactly sure what happened with Osmanian Devil, but we got a Sauber here running towards the line. It's going to be Bald Guy Racing. What's his time? 121.3. So Bald Guy up into the top 3 here with that kickstart Sauber. On board with the new guys, this incoming here, Barstool Benny. He's making his way off turn 12, I believe, now through 14. And then 15, Swazi up to the top of the table with a 120.6, and Barstool's just beginning his lap, so into the Senna S's. We are going to ride on board with him here. Really fighting that steering wheel as he's making his run through turn 3. He's now going to head down the DRS straight, but there is no DRS here in qualifying. And he's going to head into turn 4, nice and close onto the apex. Disqualified Bongit. Oh boy, what's going on? A lot of people really struggling here to get the car going out of pit lane. And so now we got 3 cars DNF here starting from the back of the grid, and then into turn 8 we go. Still fighting the wheel here for Barstool Benny all the way down the first gear there. And now through 9 up through the gears. Misses the apex there, as he's going to carry his speed right through here. You can see him fighting the car off the corner and on the brakes heavy. He's got 100% ERS. It doesn't appear he's going to really burn anything here as he's making his run towards the line, so he probably just wanted to get those tires up to temperature. Heading towards the start finish line, he is going to be a 121.422, middle of the field. And that is with no ERS. So sitting in P8 there, 1,000th of a second off of DeBoonster. DeBoonster's been having a great season so far. Rocky Man here, undefeated throughout the season. He is a 120.662. You see Natural here up at the top. He's making a cool down lap. Bald Guy Racing invalidated. Modern Tide does not appear to be on a lap, but he is. Maybe he is. We will see where he comes across. Never mind, he's not. Sector 2 is 18 seconds off, so he could be beginning a lap soon. Let's see here. Anybody else on a lap? Blue. He is going to take his quali ban, pulled in the pit lane. Peak hour out here. Appears to be on a lap as he's making his run through turn 9 up into Bico de Pato. Back down the hill in towards Young Cow of turn 13, I believe. Let me just get that right here. No, it's turn 12. Okay. So yeah, off the exit of 12, 13, now through 14, heading towards the start-finish line. He is burning the remainder of that battery as he comes across the line, and he is going to be in that P11 spot with a 122.195. Not where he expected himself to be here. And oh, just as we zoom in here on the Bald Guy Racing, he does go around into turn 10. Swazi here making his way off of turn 4 up through Ferradura now. It's going to be an interesting part of the racetrack here on the opening lap. We'll see how well everybody gets organized going into turn 1. We get about 10 minutes left of the qualifying session. Swazi is going to pull all the way to the outside. Bald Guy Racing heading to pit lane. Raptor here, not on a lap, but he's going to dive into pit lane. Modern Ties in pit lane. DeBoonster beginning a lap, it looks like, as he's going to make his run towards the start-finish line here off of 14. Now through turn 15, and he's going to head towards the center S's of turn 1. On the brake down through the gears. Onto the apex, staying on that dry line is beginning to form here in the sweat qualifying. I don't think it's going to be dry enough though for intermediate tires, as we're going to burst our way down into turn 4. 10th and a half off his time to Boonster here as he's taking his way through turn 4, now up through 5 and heading towards Ferradura of turn 6. Keeping the car well under control here into the braking zone of 8, all the way down through the gears into 4th. Making his way through sector 2, not really shifting down through the gears much. He's just kind of riding the corners in 4th. Now he's a half a second up on his time. That is going to put him towards that top 5 if he can get it. He had a purple sector 2. Just really needs to figure out sector 1. And he'll give himself a good lap. Making a run towards the start-finish line here. He's going to come across only 2.5 tenths on his time. That will put him in P9. So he did lose some time there in Sector 3. Modern Thai is beginning a lap here as he makes his way off the Senna S's now down the straight. Let's see where Trackside's at. And it looks like he's beginning a lap here, heading down the straight here towards turn 4, burning some battery, 33% into turn 4. Keeping this car well under control. Not really struggling much here in the rain. Got himself on that front row for the time being. Gets a little loose there through Ferradura, but he keeps the car well maintained heading into turn 8, now down the hill through 9. As he's going to make his way back up. Let's see, is Trackside going to be up on his time here? He has traffic in front of him. This might be slowing him down here in qualifying, and this is not helpful. As he comes through Sector 2, he's 4/10 up on his time, so he is improving for the pole position. He has a tow down the start-finish straight. He may have just timed this perfectly as he's going to make a run towards the start-finish line. Keeps it close to the inside as much as he can. Across the line he goes. 2.5 tenths up on his time as he takes over the front of the field with that pole position. Natural here is not quite cutting some grass, but making his way back onto the circuit. Rocket Man makes his way around 8/10 up on his time, burning a lot of battery, heading towards the start-finish line. And he's going to take over that pole position, 7/10. Let's see here. Swazi makes his way across the start-finish line. 4 thousandths off of his last lap, it appeared to be. So Lou's gonna retire from the session without a lap down, taking his quality ban. Bald Guy Racing making his way through the Senna S's, really on the power. Gonna come off the exit, now down this long straight into turn 4. He's got this dry line as he dives into 4, 5.5 minutes left of this qualifying session. And off the exit of 5. Back up the hill through Ferradura. Let's see how he controls. Keeps the car well under control through Ferradura. Making his way through Sector 2 here. Might be improving, not quite sure. We will find out just before Young Cow as we make our way through Pico de Pato. And he's going to carry his speed through 11. Across the Sector 2 split, he's 6/10 up on his time. Is he going to be able to take over pole position? Maybe the front row. He's got 43% battery, 38%. He's got to burn here to get towards that start-finish line. If he wants to put it up on the front row, he's got 48% battery and he's not burning any of it. And he's in that P6 position. Not quite sure what happened there for Bald Guy, as he was on a flyer in that lap. 6/10 up on his time through Sector 2 and then completely backed out of it. Wonder if he just wants to get his tires up a little bit more in temperature. But Trackside appearing to make his run through Sector 2. He's going to be 2/10 up on his time here. Swazi is really close, and Modern Thai takes over provisional pole with a 119.6. Is Trackside going to be close enough? Coming through the inside, across the start-finish line, 4/10 up to the front row, but not enough to overtake Modern Thai. And it looks like Rocket Man might have some challengers on his hands tonight. Bald Guy Racing making his way through Sector 2. Komakopa here on a lap as he's carrying his way through Sector 1. The Boonster on a lap as well, I think. Raptor here, not. Tarzan just probably getting ready to begin a lap. Peak Hour, he's beginning his lap. Swazi, he's the 10th up on his lap so far in through turn 4. That is enough to take over the front row alongside Modern Thai as we're going to carry through Ferradura. Heading in towards turn 8 now. You've got to keep this car under control, under braking here. In towards turn 9. Back up the hill towards Pico de Pato. Gonna get heavy on the brakes. Really cuts through the inside there though. Lucky didn't get a track limit. It's gonna make his way through turn 11. Heading down the hill. Is he gonna be up on his time? 2/10 off so far. You really got to start over again and regenerate here for a final quality lap. Trackside appears to be on another lap as he heads in towards turn 4. Oh, he gets extremely loose and he's gonna back out of that one. Nice catch, kept it off the inside wall. And it appears Swazi is beginning his final lap of the qualifying session, and it appears these might be the final guys right here. Swazi 2/10 down, already on his time. Natural, not on a lap. Bald Guy Racing might be on a lap. He's going to come across 4/10 up on his time. In towards turn 4, he is going to have traffic in front of him. He's hoping to not run into the back of the Haas through sector 2, and he's really closed the gap through Ferradura. The Haas is going to go through the inside. That does allow him to cleanly get through. Now through turn 9, Bald Guy Racing was on a flyer earlier in the qualifying session and appeared to back out of it, and so we're going to watch him through sector 2 here. Off the exit, back on the power, making his way down the hill. Very low on the battery. He's got 60% battery left in the car. He's 7.5 up on his time. That's going to put him near the front of the field. Gomacopa, Swazi's going to take over that P2 position. Got a battle for the front row. Bald Guy Racing's going to put himself into the picture as he comes across the line with a 120 flat, and he's going to end up in the P6 position. Wow, awfully close qualifying from the front of your field. On board with Rocketman as he's coming through sector 2. Now through turn 9. Back up the hill heading towards turn 10 of Pico de Pato. And they're going to head in towards sector 2 split. He's 3.5 up on his time. Is he going to have enough to challenge for that front row? He's going to be burning every little bit. He's got a little bit of a toe. The toe goes into pit lane. Where is he going to come across the line? And a new pole sitter with a 119.231. So we got some more folks here on a lap. Peak Hour making his way 7/10 up on his time. That's going to put him right in front of Barstool Benny here for that P13 position, as he's making his run, burning the remainder of that battery. Coming to the start finish line, and he gains 1.3 on his time up into that P12 position in front of LK. Tarzan's gonna come across the line, does not improve. Bald Guy is not on a lap. Comacopa is burning, heading towards the line, and does he improve into row number 2, right behind his teammate there, Modern Thai. So we got both of the Alpines in P2 and 3. Swazi in 4th, Rocketman first. Trackside in P5, Mr. Miller 6th. Bald Guy Racing 7th, Daboonster 8th, Tarzan 9th, Natural 10th, Raptor 11th, Peak Hour 12th, LK 13th, 14th, Barstool Benny, Lou in 15th, Osmanian Devil 16th, Lepsky 17th, and Bongit in 18th. There's your qualifying once again. They're gonna get a 3-minute break and we'll be ready to roll. Guess while we wait, you can crack a cold one here. Not really cold, but I'm just kidding. It's Coca-Cola. And by the way, we are sponsored by Coca-Cola. Seems everybody has followed the rules tonight. Nobody's going on enters. Duh. Hey, look at this weather, man. It's raining. You'd be lucky to go on winters throughout the race if this rain keeps it up. Don't do it, Comacopa. Don't do it. Excuse me. It's just a little rain. We're about to go green. It's just a little rain. We about to go green. Oh, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and the lights are out and away we go. And it looks like Rocket Man didn't really, or no, he got off to a great jump, but trackside with an even better jump around the outside. It's really loose. And he's going to come, and who's that coming back onto the circuit there in the Alpine? That is Modern Tide dropping through the field from that P3 position and trackside into P6. Tarzan battling side by side with the Haas and the Ferrari down into turn 4 off the exit. Looks like the Ferrari's going to get the better run through turn 5 up through Ferradura. as the spray is all over. You can't really see much in front, and we get a little loose through turn 6 or into 7 and 8. As Rocket Man opened up almost a full second gap. Komakopa in P2, Swazi in 3rd, trackside in 4th. Nobody really making a move down into Pico de Pato as we're all single file here, making a run into Juncal. Peak hour was looking, Barstool Benny was actually looking around the outside on peak hour. Bald Guy down in that P10 position. A lot has changed on the opening lap. Gonna open up these position changes. Tarzan up to P4. What a great jump for him. Rocket Man gonna lead lap 1. Modern Tie down 4. Trackside's looking down to the inside of the Senna S's here on Swazi. He's gonna overtake into that P3 position. And now he's got his sight set on Komakopa in front as we're heading down the long straight into turn 4. Right on board here with Swazi. We make our run through 4 and 5. Now up through Ferradura, and it looks like trackside's going to be a little wide. Looking for that better run off the exit of 6. Down into 7. Going to be looking to put the pressure on this Alpine in front of him. Trackside's not afraid of this rain. He is pushing this Ferrari to the limit here. Into Juncal we go, and it looks like Komakopa gets a little loose. He is going to be able to get this car straightened back out. But will this Ferrari be able to take advantage? He's trying to burn some of that ERS. Not really getting much of the Alpine down into turn 1 of the Senna S's. Mr. Miller making a move down the inside of the Boomster into P7. The Racing Bulls go. Tarzan and Modern Tie fighting through the Senna S's here. Modern Tie is 1.8 seconds back. He's now going to have Mr. Miller putting pressure on the Haas down the inside into turn 4. As we're going to fight off the exit. The Haas goes a little wide. That's going to open the door for the Aston Martin. And through goes the Boomster here. As we do have quite the train going on here in the wet. As we're now heading in towards turn 8. The Haas is looking to battle with the Aston Martin. We're going to go through a switchback here, maybe into Pico de Pato. The Haas looking down to the inside. A little contact there between Tarzan and the Boomster. Tarzan's going to try and make the move, and he appears to complete it. Modern Ties opened up a gap over Mr. Miller. Natural has made the move on the Boomster as well. And here comes Bald Guy Racing. The Boomster is dropping positions here down into P10. And he is under attack from Barstool Benny as well. Barstool Benny's going to go through the inside of the Senna S's, but he is going to be stuck around the outside of 2, back to the inside of 3. And it appears the Boomster has better traction there. And going to jump back into that P10 position, and that will be the fight for them. Komakopa and Trackside are still fighting here for the P2 position. As Swazi in 4th place. Into turn 8, now back down the hill through turn 9, sorry, 10, through 11, sector 2 split into 12, Juncal. And now up through turn 13 and 14, is Trackside closing up to the back of the Alpine in front of him. It does not appear to be so. He is burning there, getting the toe, but not much going on for him. Modern Tides closed that gap back up into P5. Barstool Benny's going to make his way by DeBoonster. DeBoonster looking through a switchback into the center S's. Is he going to get a better run here off the exit of 3? Pulls right up to the back of the Williams, but the Williams is going to have much better straight line speed here down into turn 4. Modern Ty is really working on trying to catch up with these guys. Trackside getting really loose. He is going to be fighting through the inside now on Swazi. Is this going to be allowing this Alpine of Modern Ty to take advantage? He has closed this gap back up. Trackside now needs to figure out a way to work on closing up to Comacopa once again, as we ride on board with Modern Ty here. Watch this fight between him and Swazi. As we make our way to the inside goes Ty. And he is going to overtake the Mercedes in front of him. So up to P4. Modern Ty did have a rough start. He fell through the grid all the way down to like P10, and now he's worked his way up into P4 here. Check on this fight between Natural and Tarzan as they're making their run into turn 4. Natural is starting to find some pace front end, and he is going to have to go into pit lane to get that service as he pulls to the inside. Blue's going to go around him. Oh, and we have a full course safety car on lap 6. What is this, F1? What is this? So, the question is anybody gonna want to go into pit lane here? Look at the position changes so far. Everybody is on wet tires. Nobody is choosing to box off of these wet tires. As Raptor does go into pit lane, it appears he has front wing damage, I believe. Yes, he is going to get a wing change. The booster is going to retire. And then leave the session. But up at the front, we do have Comacopa. Well, we'll start from P1. We got Rocket Man, Comacopa, and P2. P3 is Trackside. 4th is Modern Ty. 5th is Swazi. 6th is Mr. Miller here. 7th Tarzan. 8th is The Natural. 9th is Bald Guy. 10th is Barstool Benny. 11th is Peak Hour. 12th is LK. Bonga in 13th. Lupsky in 14th. And Lou in 15th. Osmanian Devil in 16th. 17th is Raptor. Safety car is going to do one more lap. Hopefully we will get back to green flag here. We can make our way off the edge of the Ferradura. And Comacopa here. Safety car is going back in. So Comacopa is going to try and time it with Rocketman. And off to the races we go. Rocketman's already taken off. Safety car in the pit lane. Not the best getaway for Comacopa. Now under serious pressure from the Ferrari behind. In towards the center S's of turn 1. Comacopa does go defensive there. Now off the exit of 3. We're going to make a run down into turn 4 we go. Not much going on there, dropping through the field here. The Red Bull was looking to challenge on the Haas in front. Does drop back in the line. Through turn 5 up towards Ferradura. And Modern Tie into that P4 spot now. He is going to be looking to overtake the Ferrari and hopefully his teammate, but Trackside is going to be under an enormous amount of pressure trying to hold off the Alpine from behind and try and keep the pressure on Comacopa here as they work their way through turn 10. Up the hill. Still Benny gets by the Sauber. As they make their run in towards turn 1. Trackside still got that pressure on. Lepke's going to make his way past Bonget, but Trackside's looking, breaking the toe there on this Alpine in front of him. As we're making our way through Ferradura in towards turn 8. Raptor is going to get by on Augmenian Devil. Augmenian Devil missing that end plate, gets into the wall. He is back under green here. Now down the start-finish straight we go. The Ferrari putting the pressure on. He's much closer this time as we're making a run down the start-finish straight. Is he going to be able to complete the move? No, he's not. At some point, he's got to back out of this and hold up, regenerate that battery, and make an attack again. But right now, the Alpine holding off this Ferrari as we're heading down into turn 4. As Trackside jumps out of tow there down in towards turn 4. He's still got a lot of pressure on this Alpine, and Modern Tie gets loose and he's going to go into the inside wall and he's going to have some front wing damage. Very unfortunate for him. Lepke is battling with the OK here for that P12 position. Trackside putting a lot of pressure on Comacopa still. He did regenerate that battery. Komakopa still has a little bit more than him. Sector 2 yellow, got a blue dropping through the field, down into P15, okay. Has left the session. That's incorrect. I'm gonna have to invite him. Trackside got the pressure back on once again. Komakopa here is gonna drop back a little bit this time. Komakopa here is just kind of cruising through Sector 1 there. Purple Sector 1, he's starting to find some time. Trackside a little loose there, off of 4. Mr. Miller has crept up into this battle. Swazi right behind him as well. A little 4-car train going on for this P2 position. Tarzan here, 1.3, actually 1 second back. He's not too far back from the guys in front. Mr. Miller somehow makes his way by Trackside. Did not catch that. As we make our run off of turn 10 down in toward Junkow of 11. Must have been a mistake from Trackside. Big gap all the way down between Komakopa and Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, though, is looking to put the pressure on, but here comes Trackside once again. Mr. Miller gets really loose there off the exit of 14. Trackside's going to peek out, and Mr. Miller's going to be able to defend him off down into the center Essage. Upsy making his way through the field. He's going to get up inside the top 10 now, overtaking Peak Hour. Going to have to put his sights on the next Hoff in front of him. Still Benny working on the natural here. Mr. Miller 1.5 seconds back from Komakopa. He has 68-70% of his battery. Komakopa is about 70% as well. Rocketman out here with 3.5 second lead. Making our run in toward turn 1. Off the exit of turn 3, Swazi's 6/10 back from Trackside. Trackside's lost toe to Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller's really closing that gap up to Komakopa here. He's going to be looking to put the challenge on. Swazi's got the pressure on Trackside as they make their way through turn 9. Back up the hill in towards turn 10 of Pico de Pato. Into Junkow, and Mr. Miller is now a second off from Komakopa, the Alpine in front of him. On lap 14, we still got just a little over halfway to go. The question is, will Mr. Miller be able to challenge the Alpine in front of him? Komakopa has played really good defense, but Natural and Barstool Benny making their way side by side through the center Essage, and it looks like Barstool around the outside of turn 3. He is going to complete the move, but Natural's looking to put the pressure on once again as Bald Guy Racing trailing behind in that P8 position as we make our way off of turn 4 heading back up the hill towards Ferradura. We got a couple battles going on here on the circuit. Mostly 2-car battles, but we do have this 3-car battle that's been brewing here between Barstool Benny, Natural, and Bald Guy Racing. Go up through the grid here. Mr. Miller got with a half a second of Comacopa. Raptor is going to make a move. Ashley Peakower has gone around. Not sure who that is. Bonner has gone extremely wide. And Lou's making his way off of Juncal. Question is, when do the pit stops start? Then we got a battle between Bald Guy and Natural once again. In towards turn 4, Bald Guy is going to go extremely wide. Natural is going to look for the move through the inside. And almost contact made there as we're heading up through Ferradura. And we got back up towards the front. Mr. Miller is losing a little bit of pace on Comacopa through Sector 2, but he is gaining a lot of pace here through Sector 3. Could be the dirty air potentially. We make our run down into Juncal. Off the exit we go, heading down the start-finish straight. And he's going to get the toe. Mr. Miller within a half a second range. He's got about 90% battery. He is going to force Comacopa to burn a little bit. He's got Comacopa burning quite a bit, actually. And down in towards turn 3. Swaggy here. He's got the pressure on trackside. Barstool Benny, though, has caught right up to the back of him. Bald Guy Racing in P7. Still fighting along with Natural and Tarzan. Tarzan just kind of trailing along in this fight, watching the view. Barstool Benny has caught up to the back of the Mercedes in front of him, and now he's going to follow his way through turn 5 up into Ferradura of turn 6. Now into turn 8 and 9. Heading down the start-finish straight. Barstool Benny looking to put this pressure on the Mercedes. Going to go around the outside here in towards the center S's. Down into turn 1. And the Williams has overtaken the Mercedes. He's got his sights set on the Ferrari in front of him. Mr. Miller still putting that pressure on Comacopa here, not really trying to force anything here. We still potentially have a round of pit stops. And we're starting to get the penalty now here halfway through the Grand Prix. Mr. Miller up through turn 8 into 9, or about through 7 into 8, now through 9. I'm going to go back up the hill into turn 10. Pico de Pato, and now through 11, heading towards Juncal of 12. There's Mr. Miller looking to pounce on this Alpine in front. The power is down, and it looks like 7.5 tenths of a second separating the two. Not really much to challenge for here. Into turn 1, maybe close up the gap a little bit, but not really going to be able to challenge much there into turn one. Lupski and Tarzan about to battle it out. And it looks like Lupski is going to get another position, but he is going to dive into pit lane here. And he is going to be looking to get off the wet tires. The first stop of the day. Raptor is continuing on. He was our first pit stop under the safety car. He had to get a new wing and tires. But he is in that P10 position, just going along for the cruise in the rain. Swazi, Barstool, Benny, and Trackside are now all fighting it out for the inside the top 5. As we carry through turn 9, Mr. Miller's still right behind Comacopa ahead. Into turn 10, with Pico de Paso. As we get the power down, Barstool Benny's not really closed that door. Now he's going to begin right up to the back. They both get a little bit of wheel spin off the exit of Junkow. Coming through 13 and 14. We got the start finish straight right in front of us heading towards the center Acid. Trackside's going to dodge into pit lane. Is he going to slow down? Yes, he does. Swazi's coming in right behind him. Natural's going to stay out. Tarzan's going to stay out. So some folks have dodged into pit lane here. As Comacopa is still under some pressure from Mr. Miller. Lee and LK battling it out here in that P14 and 15. Mr. Miller still trying to attack on Comacopa. Down the hill. Heading in towards turn 9. Turn 12 of Junkow. Back down the start finish straight to complete lap 20 of 36. And Mr. Miller's going to dive into pit lane, so isn't Comacopa. Barstool Benny's going to come in right behind him. He's been catching on some pace here, but Bald Guy Racing is going to continue on his way with these wet tires. Natural is going to continue on with his way as well. And is Raptor going to overtake both of them here while they're in pit lane? It appears he might just do so, as Raptor is making his way through the center S's here, getting the power down. Everybody is coming off a pit lane, and Raptor up to the top 5 here after making a pit stop on the early safety car of lap 8. But he is going to be under an enormous amount of pressure from Comacopa and Mr. Miller right behind him. As we're heading in towards turn 8. Now through 11. Comacopa is still under pressure from Mr. Miller though. Not really getting much pressure on Raptor. Rocketman gonna continue on with his way. Bald Guy and Natural both have gone into pit lane. As now we're heading down the start finish straight. Is Comacopa gonna challenge? Yes, he is. Down to the inside of the Red Bull. Raptor is going to be under an enormous amount of pressure from this racing board of Mr. Miller. Doesn't want to get held up on Comacopa. And now he's going to go right through the inside as they make their way down into turn 4. And now Mr. Miller has made his way up into P4 right behind Comacopa. Tarzan is on his way through Sector 2 now, halfway through it. He's making his way down the hill in towards turn 9, back up the hill, heading towards the right-hander of Pico de Pato. And we're going to take a left here. Through turn 11, in towards turn 12, junk out. Barstool Benny. Barstool Benny's looking to put the pressure on Raptor. He's going to go through the inside. Now he's got 1.2 seconds gap between him and Mr. Miller. To be able to close that off. Miller's still putting the pressure on Comacopa. Comacopa's not giving up yet on that provisional P2 position. As we make our way through Sector 2 here, down the hill into turn 9, back up the hill towards turn 10. On lap 24 of 36, we've had a very wet race all Grand Prix here. Lots of two-car battles going on. Comacopa's going to work his way past the lapper Ferrari. Mr. Miller's going to also come through. Barstool Benny has actually caught up to this battle in front. We're going to head down the start-finish straight. Trackside does get by Raptor. And now Swazi's looking to put the pressure on the Red Bull. Is Swazi going to be looking for a move into turn 4? No. Going to continue to follow behind. Benny's all over that rear diffuser of the Racing Bulls in front of him. As we make our way back up into Pico de Pato. Mr. Miller goes a little defensive there in the Racing Bulls machine. Now he's under a lot of pressure from the Williams behind. So the question is, when will the Racing Bulls make that challenge on the Alpine in front of him? He gets really loose off the exit, and there goes Barstool Benny up into that P4 position. Now he's worked his way through the grid here. We're going to pull up these position changes here. Barstool Benny up 10 spots here, making his way on his debut in the rain at Brazil. But the race had gotten on, and he had gotten faster as the race had gone on, down in towards turn 4. We're going to head through Sector 2 here, heading towards Juncal of 12. The Williams right on that rear diffuser here of the Alpine in front. Gonna put the power down, burning that ERS. They got the Haas 3 seconds up the road in front of them. Will the Williams look to overtake on the Alpine? Down to the inside, a little contact, door closed. And the Alpine's going to continue on with their way off the exit of 3. Williams all over that rear diffuser once again. He's going to get the toe down the straight. Heading towards 4. Is he far enough alongside? Into the braking zone. Side by side through turn 4. As we make our way off the exit of 5. And now up towards Ferradura. Barstool Benny has patiently worked his way through the grid up at 11 spots now, and he's got his eyes set on this Haas in front of him in that P2 position. And Komakopa under pressure from Mr. Miller. Komakopa has defended that P2 spot all race long and P3, and now he's fallen through the grid. He's dropped nearly 3 spots all the way down into P5, and trackside starting to pick his way up into the picture. Barstool Benny is, however, catching Tarzan right in front of him. Make our way through Pico de Pato. Watching this little battle go on between Barstool Benny and Tarzan, and it looks like Barstool Benny into that P2 position. Now Mr. Miller's trying to close up to the back of him as well, as he's looking to get back on the podium here. Down into the center S. He's not close enough to challenge at all for the Racing Bulls. Get about 9 laps to go. Mr. Miller up to the rear diffuser, down to the inside. He's going to make that peak. And it is going to force the Haas to stay wide. The Haas almost nearly comes across the front ring there off the exit of 4. Heading up towards the turn 6 of Ferradura. And now we've got a battle on our hands for the P3 position, the final podium spot. Two Red Bulls are looking to finish inside the top 10. The only duos of teammates here to finish inside the top 10. Tarzan and Mr. Miller fighting for that P3 spot, and it appears Mr. Miller is going to overtake. Modern Tire appeared to make another mistake there off of turn 12. Bonget here with a big mistake, cutting some grass. Wonder how he feels about it. Probably a better lawnmower than what he's currently got. Komakopa making his way into Junkow here. He's 7/10 of a second behind Tarzan. 8/10 behind him with trackside. Got about 7 laps to go here. Time is ticking. Track is getting pretty dry here. Everybody stayed on the wet tires after their pit stop. And we're going to see how this Grand Prix finishes out. But we're going to tune into this battle for the time being. Just jump back into the battle here. Komakopa, Trackside, and Tarzan. All in a fight with Swazi, catching right up to the back of him as well. Trackside still putting a lot of pressure on Komakopa. Lepke is gonna work his way by Bald Guy, but now he's got the pressure on Natural here. Time is ticking and the battle's brewing here with the final few laps to go. Ooh, contact between Tarzan and Swazi here as we're making our way down the start-finish straight. Swazi's gonna go to the inside, side by side down into the center S's. Looks like the Mercedes will overtake into turn 1. Tarzan looking for the better run off the exit. Gonna pull right up to the back of the Mercedes in front of him. He's not gonna be able to make the overtake. Trackside still putting pressure on Komakopa here, 2.5 tenths behind. Raptor and Natural both fighting, or no, Natural and Lepke fighting for position here in that P9 spot. As we make our way through turn 10. Trackside once again looking to make the move on the Alpine in front of him with Komakopa. Trackside looking a long way around. He is going to try and get the better run heading through 3. Pulls right up to the back of Komakopa. Is he going to burn this battery to the inside? He's not going to have enough to be able to challenge. Going to fall right back behind down into turn 4. Mr. Miller here. He's 5 seconds back from Barstool. Barstool Bennett, he's closed the gap quite significantly to Rocketman. We make our way down the start-finish straight. In towards turn 4. Now through 8. Trackside trying to put all the pressure he can on Comacopa here. Natural and Raptor fighting with Lepsky of the McLaren. Raptor's going to push him a little wide so to maintain that P9 position. On the penultimate lap we begin for Rocketman up front. In the meantime, we still got some guys fighting for the top 10 position. Trackside, he's 7.5 tenths back from Comacopa. He's really closed up this gap though. Is he going to be able to make a run down into turn 1 this time? It doesn't appear to be much. As Raptor and Lepsky both make a run down into the center S's. Trackside once again 7 tenths back. And the fight continue. And now Swaldy is caught up to the back of Trackside, putting a lot of pressure on here. Raptor begins the final lap of the Grand Prix. Is Swaldy going to have enough for Trackside here? Doesn't appear to be so. He's not close enough off the exit of Juncal. Now Trackside trying to close up to the back of Comacopa here as we make our way down into the center S's. Lepsky's gonna work his way around Raptor, and now here comes Bald Guy Racing looking to take advantage of the mistake. He's gonna get squeezed off the track. Back onto the circuit he goes in that P11 spot. And Rocketman making his way towards the start-finish line on one set of very wet tires. And he's going to come across home with a victory here at Brazil. Barstool Benny, big gains throughout the Grand Prix. He's going to make his way up through the grid, heading towards the start-finish line in that P2 spot. In the meantime, Trackside has found a way to close back up to the back of Comacopa. Going to make a run towards the start-finish line though, and it looks like Comacopa is going to be able to defend off Trackside for that P4 spot. Swazi will be able to overtake in the 5th with the penalty on Trackside. Tarzan in P7, P8, Natural Lepsky was able to make a move on Raptor. Bald Guy in 11th. Well, folks, there you have it. That was the Grand Prix here at Brazil. I will pull up the final results one more time. So congratulations to your podium finishers. Rockerman, Barstool, Benny, Mr. Miller, Copa, Swazi, Top 5, Trackside, Tarzan, Natural, Lepsky, Raptor, Top 10, Bald Guy, Peak Hour, Modern Tie, Lou, and Bonga in your top 15. And then it's LK, Osmanian Devil, and the Boonster will round out the grid. In the meantime, I am the Johnny Damon. It's been a pleasure as always. I will see you all next week. Have a great night, folks.